1:15 in the morning, a quiet road, no streetlights, no witnesses. A young man's car slid into a ditch on a rural road in Minnesota. He wasn't badly hurt, he just needed a ride. So he called his parents for help. But instead of waiting, he started walking through fields in the dark. Then, mid-sentence, he said, "Oh shit," and disappeared forever. Setup. On the evening of May 13th, 2008, a 19-year-old college student attended a small gathering in Lind, Minnesota. He was described as responsible, social, and steady, not reckless, not the kind of person who would vanish without a reason. Sometime around midnight, he left the party and started driving home to Marshall, Minnesota. It should have been a short drive on quiet roads. Instead, it became one of the most unsettling disappearances in modern true crime. The crash. After leaving Lind, he got lost. The exact reason is unclear. It was late. Rural roads were dark. In parts of Minnesota, long stretches of farmland have no streetlights, no traffic, and almost no landmarks. At around 1:15 a.m., his car went off the road and landed in a ditch near Taunton, Minnesota. The crash wasn't catastrophic. The car wasn't destroyed. He wasn't seriously injured. But the vehicle was stuck and couldn't be driven out. So he did what many people would do. He called his parents. The first call. He reached his parents, Annette and Brian, and told them he was okay. He explained he had gone into a ditch and needed a ride. His voice was calm, not panicked, not crying, just tired and frustrated. But then he made a critical mistake. He believed he was near the town of Lind. That detail shaped everything that happened next, because it was wrong. His parents agreed to pick him up immediately. They got in their car and began driving through the night while staying on the phone with him. The confusion. He tried to describe what he could see. He mentioned lights in the distance. In his mind, those lights were Lind. But investigators later concluded he was actually near Taunton, miles away. It meant all three of them were now operating on the wrong assumption. His parents were searching in one area, while he was walking in another. His parents told him to stay near the car, where he would be easier to locate. He refused. He believed walking toward the lights would get him to safety faster. So he started walking. He starts walking. He walked along the road, phone to his ear, while his parents drove slowly, scanning both sides. They honked. They flashed their headlights. They shouted his name out of the window. He told them he could see them. He said he could see their headlights. At times, he sounded confident that they were only minutes apart. But every time his parents stopped the car and looked around, there was nothing. No silhouette on the road, no movement in the fields, no voice calling back. They drove forward again. He kept walking. It became a strange, terrifying situation. A son convinced he was close, and parents desperate to find him, while darkness and distance kept them separated. The 47-minute call. The phone call lasted roughly 47 minutes. During the call, he described what he was doing. He said he was walking through fields. He mentioned crossing fences. He said he could hear water nearby. His parents begged him to stop. They told him to turn around and go back to the car. They worried he would get hurt, or lost, or trapped somewhere they could never reach in time. But he kept moving. He believed he was walking towards safety. Then, near the end of the call, his tone changed. Suddenly, he said, "Oh shit," and after that, nothing. No follow-up, no explanation, no scream. The line stayed open, but he did not respond. His parents called his name again and again. Silence. 911. Annette and Brian immediately called 911. Law enforcement began searching, but the situation was already working against them. Darkness, rural land, confusion about his exact location. Later, investigators located the car, still stuck in the ditch near Taunton. The keys were inside. There were no obvious signs of a violent struggle. He was gone. No clear trail, no clear direction, just farmland and night, the landscape. People imagine disappearances happening in forests or mountains. At night, with limited visibility, it is easy to misjudge distance, easy to lose direction, easy to fall. Investigators believed he may have left the road and walked into the fields. That could explain why his parents couldn't see him, even if he thought he saw their headlights. It could also explain the sudden end of the call. One wrong step, one unseen drop, one moment of panic. Searches and theories. Search teams combed the area. Dogs were brought in, volunteers joined. Fields and ditches were checked repeatedly, but he was not found. Theories formed. One possibility is that he fell into water, possibly the Yellow Medicine River or a nearby creek, and drowned. Water at night can be invisible. If he slipped down a steep bank, he may not have been able to climb out. Another possibility is exposure and disorientation. Even mild conditions can become deadly if someone is exhausted, wet, and lost. Some considered foul play, but there was no clear evidence of an attack, no witnesses, no confirmed sightings, no signs that another vehicle stopped. What remained most haunting were those final two words, "Osht," the aftermath. His family refused to give up. They pushed for continued searches and attention. They wanted answers. Over time, some items were found in the region, but nothing that conclusively explained what happened in those final seconds. No confirmed remains, no confirmed cause. A young man vanished after a phone call with his parents, while they were actively searching for him in real time. They were close enough to be trying to meet him, but never close enough to save him. The missing person was Brandon Swanson. He was 19 years old. His car crashed into a ditch in the early hours of May 14th, 2008, near Taunton, Minnesota, after he left a gathering in Lind and tried to drive home to Marshall. He stayed on the phone with his parents for nearly 50 minutes while they searched for him in the dark. Then he said, "Oh shit," and he was never seen again. Despite searches, investigations, and years of questions, the case has never been fully resolved. If you have a theory about what happened that night, write it in the comments. And if you want more true crime stories like this, subscribe.